Hello everyone, today I'm going to be putting a brake controller in this 2003 GMC Envoy, and the Chevy Trailblazer would be the exact same procedure. So first off, let me show you in the back here. See how it has this 7-round plug down here? Basically what that means is that this thing is factory pre-wired. Get a better shot. If you see that plug right there on the back ears, that means that the connections that you need to do the brake controller are already up underneath the dash here. Okay, the first thing that you have to do is remove, there's a panel up underneath here. Basically, this panel has to come off in order for you to gain access to the wires. From what I can tell, it looks like there's 4 of these hex head screws. They are 7mm in size. However, if you don't have any metric tools, a 9/32 will also fit them. So here's a 9/32 socket. Yeah, that fits perfectly fine. They are 7mm though. If you don't want to risk stripping them, definitely use a 7mm. So I'm just going to take, there's 6 of these things, I'm just going to take the 6 of these off. There's one right there, one over there, and it looks like where your OBD2 code reader's at, there's 2 of them right there as well. Okay, so it turns out in order to get this panel down, you only have to remove the front 2. You don't have to remove those other ones. So just take the front 2 screws down and this panel here will drop. Then the wires that you're looking for, if I look towards the left side here, try to make over this flashlight camera, is right there. You'll see there's an orange, a blue, a lighter blue, and a black. Those are your brake controller install wires. Just down so you can see them. They're in my hand right here. And they were just taped up under this wire bundle on the left hand side. I'll pan back a little bit and I'll pan back in so you can see exactly where they're at. Okay, so let me show you what I did. I cut the plug that was off the end of my brake controller and spliced all the wires back, and I wired it directly to the wires coming off this GMC. And real quick, I'm just going to show you what each wire does. All brake controllers are wired the same, so the blue wire coming off your brake controller goes to, of course, the blue wire on the Chevy side. The black wire coming off your brake controller is your battery power wire, and that goes to the orange wire on the Chevy side, or GMC side, I should say. Your white wire is your ground. That goes to the thin black wire on the GMC side. And the red wire on the brake controller, that's your activation wire. That goes to the, looks like a teal greenish color on the GMC side. And what this wire is, this is the wire that every time you hit the brakes becomes hot and lets the brake controller know that you're hitting the brakes. So that's all 4 wires. Activation wire, your actual blue, which is the power wire to the back of the vehicle that actually gives you your electric brakes. The power wire for the brake controller itself, this powers the module, and your ground. And don't worry about this black wire being so thin. It doesn't matter. This ground just helps power this box. The ground for your trailer brakes actually ties into your frame back in the vehicle further, and it's not an issue, this wire being small. Trust me, the GMC engineers already thought this one out. There's no need to worry about that. Okay, so what I did, I taped up my wire connectors really good, so that none of my connectors can ever pull loose. Also, I'd recommend buying good like 3M connectors or something. Don't get them Harbor Freight cheapies. They don't tend to hold up very well. Then I put my panel back up, and when I put my panel back up, you can see I installed my bracket for my brake controller. I reused the one screw, the front left one. That was part of the panel, just to install my brake controller bracket. And then I added another screw on the right hand side. So what I'm going to end up with here, you'll see, there's how. Okay, so here it is. My brake controller is installed. It's mounted. It works. The reason mine works right now is because I have a trailer emulator plugged into the back of this thing. You do have to be plugged into a trailer to get a number display to pop up on this particular kind of brake controller. Otherwise, you'll just see a little dot in the middle. You can see I made a plug right there. It's just a mock trailer that I made, and it just makes my brake controller work. Here's all the tools that I use to install this thing.